Rick Pino here, guys, with Get Wisdom. Imagine if there was a way to easily make 2x, 5x, 10x, even 100x the amount of money that you are currently making right now. Like, how is that even possible? Well, it is possible. And in today's training, I'm going to be breaking down the exact science on making money. And in the training today, I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can do it as well. Let's get into it. Well, thanks so much for joining us, guys. Before we jump into the training, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now if you want to continue to see financial literacy, financial education content like this from me, okay? So before we can jump into the science behind making money, we need to begin with the first thing first. We need to ask ourselves a very important question, and that question is this, okay? What is money? Have you ever thought about this before? Like, have you really taken a moment and asked yourself, like, what is money? Like, is money, actually, back to the board here, check this out. Is money, is it cash, right? That's supposed to be a question mark. Is money cash? Is it this paper that we carry around in our pockets? Is money cards? Is it coins? Is money crypto? Right? Like, what is money? Is money digits on a screen? Like, what is money? Right? Because before you can understand the science behind making money, you need to understand this question right here. What is money? Because if you don't understand what money is, how in the world are you going to learn how to make more of it, right? So with this question before us, I want you to really begin to think, because think about this, okay? Money itself, I have a few $100 here. Check this out, okay? Money itself has no intrinsic value, okay? So this right here, $400, okay? And think about this, like, the only reason why this paper right here that you and I are like, oh, that's worth $400, the only reason why we think and why we believe that this paper, this specific paper, is worth $400 is because me and you have decided this specific style of paper is worth $100, right? Like, we've said, yo, this is $100, and because you and I both agree that this is $100, now we have both ascribed value to this specific unit, and now this unit right here is worth $100. However, think about this. Like, if you and I both decided, if the whole world, if culture all decided at the same time, okay, these no longer have any value, and we now value water bottles. Like, this is currency, right? Like, this is what has the value. Well, now it goes to show even further that money itself has no intrinsic value, okay? And this is another reason why this is true is think about this. Like, here in America, we've got the Federal Reserve Bank, okay? And a couple of things to consider, my mic's kind of falling here. A couple of things to consider with the Federal Reserve Bank, okay? Number one, the Federal Reserve Bank is not federal, it's not a reserve, and it's not a bank. Like, me and you can't go in there and do banking. But what is the Federal Reserve doing all the time? The Federal Reserve is printing off money nonstop. But the crazy part about this is just because the Federal Reserve is printing off money doesn't necessarily mean that they're printing off more wealth, right? It's like, this paper right here is absolutely worthless apart from the idea that me and you and everybody else in culture has assigned value to those little units. Okay, so when we begin to say, okay, this is starting to make a little bit of sense here, what is money then? So, like, is this money? Like, is it cash? Is it paper? Is it cards? Is it coins? Is it crypto? Is it digits on a screen? What is money? I'm glad you're asking. Come with me back here to the board. I'm going to give you two examples of what money is. And I think the first one might be a little offensive to some, but it's just absolutely true. Check this out, okay? So, what is money? Number one, money, I say it like this. Money is a reflection. Money is a reflection of who you are. Why is this offensive to some? Because the punchline is this. If you are not currently making the money that you desire to make, it's not because, oh, my boss is mean, or, you know, there's no opportunities out here, or, man, people just don't pay me, you know, what I want to be paid. It's none of that is the problem. The problem is this. If you're not making the money that you desire to make, you are literally, the money that you have, the money that you make is literally a reflection of who you are, who you currently are right now. Okay? You really need to understand this, because if you want to learn the science behind making money, you need to first understand that all money, in fact, if you're taking notes and if you're watching this on YouTube, I want you to drop some comments right now. I want you to drop these words, okay? All money is created in the mind first. All money is created in the mind first. It really is. Like every single dollar that you have right now, every single dollar that you make in your paycheck or in your business, whatever it is, whatever money that you have that's coming to you, first started in your mind. Think about this, okay? So whatever job you have right now, you begin to think about it first, right? Man, I'd really like to get a job doing XYZ. I'd really like to make around XYZ range. It all began right here. Or maybe you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're a business owner, and you had the idea, it would be really nice to make this kind of money by having this kind of business. And you set it up in your mind, I would really desire to make X and to do X. All money begins in the mind. And I'm going to get to this here in just a second, okay? But the first thing you need to understand to the question of what is money, okay? So what is money? Number one, well, money is a reflection of who you are, okay? That's kind of the ethereal version of what is money. But number two, this is the actual literal idea of what money is, okay? Coming back to me here to the board. Money, if you're taking notes, write this down, okay? Money is a metric. Money is a metric used to measure, money is a metric, used to measure the value. If you're taking notes, write that down, value. If you're watching live or if you're watching afterward, drop the words value in the comments, okay? Money is a metric. It's a metric used to measure the value of goods or services, okay? So really what money actually is, besides the idea that money is a reflection of who you are, okay? The reason why money is a reflection of who you are, because money is simply a measurement. It's a metric that we use to measure the value of something. Okay, remember what I was saying earlier? Like this paper right here has no intrinsic value except apart from what you and I have decided to apply to it, right? Why do we do that? Because we now have a unit that we can measure specific value with, okay? So with this being understood now, okay, money is a reflection of who I am. So whatever money I have or I don't have is a direct reflection of who I am right now. And I'm going to break this down here in just a second of why that's true. And number two, money is a metric. It's a measurement. It's something that we use to measure the value of goods or services or the value of something, right? So money is a measurement and money is a reflection. This means, if you're taking notes, write this down. This means if you want more money, in fact, I'm going to write this down. This means if you want more money, you must, in fact, if you're writing that down, underline the word must. You must create more value. If you want more money, you must create more value. Why am I saying that money, number one, is a reflection of who you are? Because the punchline is, if you're only bringing this much value to the market, you're only going to make this much money. But if you're bringing this much value, like a ton of value to the market, then guess what's going to happen? Then you are also going to receive a ton of money, because the way that money works is a measurement of value. Okay, it's a metric that we use to measure the value of something. So if you want more money, then you have got to create more value. Think about it like this. Like someone who, they're flipping burgers. And by the way, nothing wrong with flipping burgers, right? But let's say you got your first job and, here in Texas, In-N-Out is big, or in California, In-N-Out is big, or whatever it is, Burger King, wherever you're at, right? And it's your first job and you're 15 years old, 16 years old, and you're getting paid $12 an hour to flip these burgers. Now, are you bringing value to people? Yeah, because every day there are people coming to the restaurant to, get one of their problems solved, like we're hungry or we want to eat together or whatever it is, and you're like back there flipping burgers. Now, are you solving a problem for them? Are you creating value to the point where it's going to save their life right now? Not necessarily, right? Like, it's just like, well, if we don't eat right now, it would suck, but we'd be hungry, but I mean, we wouldn't die by not eating right this second. So you are providing a little bit of value for a temporary solution to a temporary problem, and therefore you're getting a little bit of money back with some temporary value exchange back, and that's just how it works, right? But think about this, okay? So that's like a lower level. What if you were a brain surgeon, okay, and the person has a terminal tumor in their brain, and if they don't get this surgery, they will die, right? Like you're now, the value exchange is much higher. That's why like brain surgeons, they're making $300,000 to $500,000 a year, some a little less, some a little more, but there's a big difference between $500K a year and, $25,000 a year for the burger flipper, right? Versus like the brain surgeon. So with that being said, okay, I want you to understand something, that you get paid according to the value that you bring to the market. There's just no way around this, okay? There's no way around it. As valuable as you are to the market is according to how much value people will say thank you back in return with their measurements of value, the dollars, right? They're gonna say thank you back, and literally that's how it works. So if you want more money, you've got to create more value. There's a big value difference between the burger flipper or the barista versus the brain surgeon, who it is a life or death situation. They absolutely need to have the surgery or they could pass away, right? Or whatever else. There's a ton of examples. But the point I'm trying to make here is you need to understand, if you want more money, you must create more value. This is why traditionally, okay, the idea of like go to school, go to college, get educated so you can get a good job, traditionally for our parents and for our grandparents, maybe that worked for them because it was essentially that generation's way of becoming more valuable with their education. Today, in our world, as a recording of this video, 2024, the way that we become more valuable is we can go on YouTube, we can hire coaches, we can join mentorships, we can level ourselves up without college, without university, much faster. We can learn from experts, people who are actually doing the thing, not just a college professor who has like a book, who's never, let's just say you're taking a business class, right? And the professor's never started a business in their life, but they're opening up a business book saying, well, in theory, this is how business works. Like, it's just ridiculous to me, right? So if you want to make more money, you've got to create more value. One of the fastest ways to do this is to level your skills up, level your knowledge up, right? And so that you can learn how to bring more value to the marketplace. Okay, if you're getting this, let me know in the comments. Say, I'm getting it, I'm getting it, I'm getting it. If you're getting value right now, drop some fire emojis in the comments, okay? Check this out.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying the training. I wanted to take a few moments real quick to invite you to join me for my upcoming Create and Sell Digital Products 5-day challenge, okay? This is a 5-day live virtual event where I invite entrepreneurs or would-be entrepreneurs just like you to come spend 5 days with me and get live training on the 5 moves that anyone can take in order to scale and skyrocket their business and their revenue. Now, the best way to join is as a VIP, because VIPs get to spend an extra hour with me every single day and ask your questions live. My most successful students have all been VIPs. That's the best way to join. Listen, you don't want to miss the upcoming Create and Sell Digital Products 5-day challenge. It's completely live. It's coming up right around the corner. Click the link down below in the description. Grab your ticket today. Now back to the training.
Instead of having money on your mind, like, it's so interesting to me, okay? Back to the board. It's so interesting to me because a lot of people, okay, a lot of broke-minded people, all they can think about is money. Why? Because they're literally, they have such little value, so therefore they have such little money, and it's this like really, really crazy, ridiculous, vicious cycle of low value, low money, low value, low money, and all they can think about is like, oh man, I need to get some more money. I'm struggling. It's hard out here, blah, blah, blah. What you need to do is get your mind off of money, and you need to get your mind on, oops, that is a weird shaped face. Let's try it again. You need to get your mind on value. How can I bring more value to the planet, okay? Not like, oh man, how can I get more money? Yes, I understand that's part of it, but before you try to understand how to get more money, you first need to understand how can I provide more value to the market? Because if I can provide more value to the market, then a very simple byproduct of me bringing value to the market, bringing value to people's lives, is going to result in people paying me money to say thank you, right? According to the level of problem that I solve. Check this story out. I tell this story from time to time. A number of years ago, I was actually in Israel, okay, and I had the honor of going to a Shabbat dinner with a Jewish billionaire, okay, amazing dude, billion with a B, by the way, not just a millionaire, okay, he's a billionaire. And, you know, I was honored to be able to sit next to the guy at the Shabbat dinner, and we're enjoying each other's company, this beautiful sunset. We're sitting on this beautiful roof overlooking the sunset in Israel, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And we're sitting there talking, and I started thinking to myself, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a little selfish here, and I'm actually going to ask this dude, this billionaire dude, like some financial literacy questions, because obviously he's way beyond where I'm at right now. And so I asked him this question, and I said, well, listen, let me ask you, why in the world, besides the obvious that God has made a covenant with Jews, right? Besides the spiritual side that it's part of God's covenant with the Jewish people, why do you, and I asked him this, why do you believe that Jews, for the most part, not 100% of them, but for the most part, why are Jews usually so wealthy? Like, why are Jews so wealthy usually, right? And without skipping a beat, he didn't even blink, and he said, brother, this is my Israeli accent, okay? Let me know in the comments if it's good. He goes, brother, it's because we are obsessed with value exchange. And I said, wait, what do you mean? Obsessed with value exchange? What in the world does that even mean? And then he began to teach me and instruct me. He said, one of the reasons why Jews, for the most part, again, everything is relative, right? But for the most part, Jews are usually pretty wealthy people. And he said, as a Jewish businessman who was a billionaire, he believed that one of the main reasons why Jews are usually so financially abundantly blessed is because the Jewish mindset is we are obsessed with exchanging value towards one another. And then he went on to instruct me and let me know the way that the Jewish culture is raised is that they believe the more problems I can solve for people, okay, the more problems I can solve for people, the more value I can bring to the market, then the more people are going to say thank you in return with their money, with their dollars. And so for the Jewish mindset, at least from this man's perspective, and I think it's a powerful perspective, and since then I've tried to take it on myself, but instead of having your mind, like I just said, instead of having your mind on money all the time, like, man, I just wish I could make some more money. I need to make some more money. Instead of focusing on the money, why don't you start focusing on the value? How can I bring more value? How can I bring more valuable? Or how can I bring more value? How can I become more valuable to the market? Because the punchline is this: the more people you can serve, the more problems you can solve for the market, then it's going to be a no-brainer. The more money you can make. If you are currently solving little problems for people, then guess what? You're going to make little bits of money. But if you start solving bigger problems for people, then you're going to start making bigger amounts of money. Just like my Jewish friend told me, he said, we are obsessed with value exchange. The exchange of value. The exchange of me saying, I have a solution to XYZ problem, and you as a person who has XYZ problem, if you would like, I can solve this problem for you, and in return, the way that you tell me thank you is by paying me. Guys, this is like money 101. This is business 101. This is how God has set up the universe. This is how he set up the global economy to go around and around, is by people not chasing dollars, but by people wanting to bring more value to the world, wanting to serve people at a higher level so that everybody's life is enriched. Think about this. Like when you approach making money from the angle now of providing value to the market instead of like, oh man, I need to get a side hustle, I need to get a job, nothing wrong with that. But stop focusing on the wrong thing. The wrong thing is like, oh, I need to try to make more money. No, the correct perspective is, I need to bring more value. I need to solve more problems. I need to solve bigger problems. I need to become more valuable as a person, because if money is a reflection of who I currently am and I'm not at the level that I need to be in my finances, then guess what? I need to become more valuable as a person so I can solve bigger problems, so I can serve more people, and therefore I can make more money. Okay? That's what all of this science behind making money is all about. Check this out, okay? Anything that solves a problem for others is of value to them and therefore is worth a set amount of money. I'm going to say that again. Anything that solves a problem for others is of value to them. Remember, guys, the key word here is value, okay? Anything that solves a problem for others is of value to them and therefore is worth a set amount of money. Okay, so let me present this idea to you here. Okay, and if you're taking notes, write this down. Okay, problem solving is at the heart. Problem solving is at the heart of creating value and making money. Let's go! Problem solving is at the heart of creating value and making money. Again, instead of trying to obsess over like, man, I need more money, I need more money, I need more money. How are we going to make it? How are we going to pay our bills? Instead of obsessing over the wrong thing that you're focused on, lift your vision higher. I need at least 10 people in the comments right now. Drop these words. Lift your vision higher. Stop obsessing over the money and start obsessing over, I need more money, I need more money. Stop doing that and start obsessing over, how can I solve more problems? How can I solve bigger problems? Because yes, I need money, but the way that I'm going to make more money is I'm going to provide more value. Guys, are you getting this yet? If you're getting this, let me know in the comments. Say, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. If you want to make more money, you've got to learn how to solve bigger problems, provide more value. It's so interesting. My wife and I, we've been doing our best to teach our kids financial literacy even from a young age, right? So I've got a 14-year-old, I've got an 8-year-old, and I've got a 6-year-old currently at the recording of this video. And it's so interesting, right? When we started showing and teaching our kids how money works and how they can make more money, they stopped coming to us and be like, Dad, can I have $50 for a new pair of shoes or whatever? Or like, Dad, can I have $40 for the new video game or blah, blah, blah? Or, my 14-year-old dad, can I have $100 to go buy this outfit or whatever in the world it is? It switched from dad, can I have, to, it switched from that to, Dad, do you have any problems I can solve right now? I love that. My 6-year-old came up to me just a couple of days ago and he wanted to get some tokens for his little video game that he's playing on his iPad. And he goes, he walks up to me and he goes, Dad, do you have any problems I can solve? And I said, maybe. What are you thinking? He goes, I don't know, but they need to be some big problems because I really need to get some new tokens for my video game. And I want to get this, whatever it was. Like, there's a specific car I want to buy so I can go faster on the video game. And do you have any problems I can solve? I hope they're like big problems. I love that, right? Because now even my kids are beginning to understand what real financial literacy when it comes to money is all about. Like, it's not like, yo, please, 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 can I have this? Can I have that? Like, it's about solving problems. And guys, if my kids can learn this, if I can learn it, then you can learn it too. Okay? That's why problem solving is at the heart of creating value and making money. Okay, even 6-year-olds. My 6-year-old is getting this. I need you to get this as well. Okay, those, if you're taking notes, write this down. Okay, those who know how to create and bring value will never struggle to make money. What? One more time, I'm going to say it again. Those who know how to create and bring value will never struggle to make money. Think about that. Like, there are so many problems out there in the world, and most people have this like broke, limited belief mindset. They're like, oh man, I can't wait to just get rich one day so I don't have any more problems. It doesn't work like that. Like, part of the way that God has set up the world and the universe is that every single one of us, we face problems every single day. That's just how life works. There's a number of reasons why, right? But God, number one, He allows, I don't believe God sends problems all the time, right? But I believe that God allows certain problems to happen in our life so that other people can become obsessed with solving that specific problem for them. And then whenever we exchange value, both of our lives are made better. My life is made better whenever you solve my problem for me. And then your life is made better because I actually said thank you with my dollars. Thank you so much. This was worth this much value. Thank you for solving the problem. You solved my problem. My life is better. I paid you and I exchanged value with you to say thank you. Now your life is better. Like, guys, when it comes to making money, like broke-minded people, a lot of times religious people, they have these weird mindsets that like money's wicked and money's evil. And if you have a bunch of money, you're greedy, right? Oh, and then they pull out like weird scripture verses. The love of money is the root of all evil. And they're saying all this stuff. It's because they don't know how money actually works. They don't know that God has actually set up the globe. He set up the universe to revolve not around money, but to revolve around obsessing over solving people's problems, obsessing over providing value to the planet. And the more value we can exchange in the world, the more people are going to say thank you with their dollars. Like, this is how it works, guys. This is how it works. Okay, now here's something interesting. The reason why entrepreneurs, okay, business owners, the reason why business owners, entrepreneurs don't get scared during times like recessions is because while others are running away from problems, we as entrepreneurs, we run to the problems. Check this out, okay? For instance, okay, let's just say back in 2019, this really crazy thing broke out on the planet, okay? Dun, dun, dun. And it was this big pandemic, right? And here's what a lot of people did, okay? A lot of people, the everyday person, got super scared, and that's them, and they ran away, right? Oh my gosh, there's so many problems. What are we gonna do? Oh my gosh. And they went, pew, and they just took off running, right? Well, guess what I did? And a bunch of other people did. Entrepreneurs, okay, this right here represents the problems, okay? This is just one representation. Let me just spell it out. Problem, okay? They're big problems in the world. And normal people are like, oh my gosh, this is so scary. What are we gonna do? There's recessions and there's this and that. And they run away, pew, right? And that's why they're still struggling, man. But entrepreneurs, like myself, maybe like you, okay, we see the problem. And not only do we not run away from it, we run towards the problems. We run towards them. Why? Because we understand, and if you're taking notes, write this down, and I need at least 10 people in the comments to drop these words, okay? The more problems there are to solve, the more money we can potentially be paid. What? Think about that. Think about that, right? The more problems there are, the more potential there is to be paid. Now, you're not going to be able to understand this if you have an employee mindset. You're not going to be able to understand this if you're like working, flipping those burgers. Again, nothing wrong with being a barista or flipping burgers or whatever it is. Nothing wrong with any of that. But if you're not making the money that you desire to make, you need to become more valuable as a person. Like, educate yourself, learn new skills, like go out there and try to solve different problems than the one you're solving, maybe bigger problems or maybe more expensive problems that you can actually help people with, right? Like this is how it works, man. It's not like, oh my gosh, all these problems are coming, let's run away. What are we gonna do? The recession's gonna get us. How are we gonna ever make it? Like that is a busted, broke mindset because you don't understand yet how God has actually set up the global economy. God set it up around the idea of more problems, more money. In fact, it's pretty funny. There's a phrase in the hip hop community that basically says, more money, more problems, right? But the reality is, it's not more money, more problems. It's actually more problems, more money, right? People think like, oh man, the more money you have, the more problems you have. It's actually the opposite. Flip that on its head. The more problems you have, the more money you can make. That's how this works, man. This is the science behind making money. It's like, I'm not going to be scared of problems, okay? And the pandemic is just one example, right? But like, there's recession coming. Awesome. Like, as entrepreneurs, as men and women who understand the science behind making money, we are not subject to the global economy as far as like the liberal media and the mass media is putting out there, like trying to scare everybody. The way that we make money is by solving problems, is by bringing value. It's like my Jewish business billionaire friend said, we get obsessed with exchanging value, right? Like, there's a bunch of new problems in the market. How can I solve some of these? So I can solve people's problems. They can tell me thank you with their dollars. Their life gets better, and then my life gets better. Guys, this is how it works. This is how it works, okay? The bigger the problem, the more potential we have to get paid. Check this out, okay? Let's say the problem, okay? Let's say your problem is just this tiny little problem. Okay, if you can solve this problem, then guess what? It's going to equal a little bit of money, right? But let's say there's this huge problem. You know, so many people with that like busted, broke down mindset, I want to call it like the victim mentality, right? Oh, problems, they're all after me. Get a different mindset, man, because if you can solve the big problems, guess what? You are going to make big money. Like, which one would you rather do? Would you rather solve the little problems and make a little bit of money, or would you rather solve the big problems and make more money? The answer should be obvious, right? It should be obvious. The starting point to making money with your mind. Remember what I said at the beginning of the training today? All money begins in the mind. Why is that true? Because the starting point to making money with your mind is to find a problem to solve, okay? If you're not making the kind of money that you desire to make, it's because you're not solving a big enough problem. Okay? And that's why I said, like, money is just a reflection of who you are. Your paycheck, think about this. Your paycheck is a reflection of the value that you bring to the world. Okay? Are you guys getting this yet? Are you getting this yet, right? If you really have the desire to become rich, I'm going to write this one down. If you're taking notes, write this one down, okay? Oops. If you desire to be rich, then you must obsess over enriching others. If you desire to be rich, then you must obsess over enriching others' lives, guys. This is how it works. Okay, you guys getting this so far? I'm going to wrap with this idea. Check this out. I usually teach. Many times I have a lot of teachings on this here on the channel. I teach a lot out of this scripture here, out of this passage, Deuteronomy 8:18, okay? It says this. Remember the Lord. It is He who gives the power to create wealth. Some versions say it's he who gives you the power to get wealth. Other versions say it's the power to create wealth. Here's what I need you to understand. When it comes to this verse, okay? When it comes to this verse, a lot of times people have this prayer, God, please give me more money. I need more money, God. I need more money. I want to submit an idea to you, okay? Here's what I've learned. One of the things I've learned about God and money, okay? If you've made it this far into the training and you're enjoying it and you still haven't checked out my upcoming 5-day live virtual challenge, Create and Sell Digital Products, what is you doing? Check out this testimony right here of one of my current students. He took the information that I'm going to be sharing with you in the upcoming 5-day training to make $15,000 in one single week. Click the link down below, join as a VIP. We'll see you in the challenge. Now, back to the training. I'm just going to write it right here. God does not give money. And I am going to underline this. I know some people are going to disagree with me. God gave me money, like, you know, someone gave me a big donation or like, you know, whatever it is. Like, here's the punchline. According to Deuteronomy 8:18, God does not give money. But here's what God does give, okay? God does not give money because look at it here. It's not saying, remember the Lord. It is he who gives you money. It is he who gives you wealth. It doesn't say that. Here's what it says. It says, remember the Lord. It is he who gives you the power to create the wealth. Okay, God doesn't give you the money. God has actually given you, watch this, God has given you the ultimate and the limitless source to create wealth, which is creativity to solve other people's problems. God's not just going to poof $1,000 on you or poof $100 on you or poof $10,000 on you or whatever it is. God's not going to do that. He said, guys, you're asking for the wrong thing. You're asking me for money, but I didn't say I'm going to give you money. I said I'm going to give you the power to create wealth, the power to create money. And here's the cool part. It is a limitless resource that he has given us to generate wealth. And what is that? It's the creativity to solve other people's problems. I submit to you that right now, even though you may not be making the amount of money that you desire to make, you right now, already have everything that you need to increase your income, to get the science behind making money working for you immediately, because you right now already have God-given creativity to solve problems for people. So guys, here's the punchline I need to leave you with, okay? Remember the Lord, it is he who gives you the power to create wealth. What is that power to create wealth? It's the power to creatively solve other people's problems, because the way that God has set up the world, the way that he set up the economy is me and you, we're not here to chase money. We're not here to be burdened by the thought of I need money all day long. God set up the global economy, set up the universe around this. How can I become more valuable? How can I bring more value to the market? How can I solve more problems? And then again, like my Jewish friend said, how can I become obsessed with solving those problems for people so that I can begin to exchange value with them? Because when you do this, not only is your life made better, their life is made better. You solve the problem for them, their life is made better. They say thank you with their dollar signs, your life is made better. Guys, this is the science behind making money. Go and apply these principles. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to continue to see more financial education and literacy like this from me, Rick Pino with Get Wisdom. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next training.